Well, here we go. Another visit with
Oh, yeah.
the worst softball manager to ever hit the face of God's green earth. The only manager. Remember, who was it? It was the new Astros manager. His first win came when his team threw a no-hitter. Remember that? Beginning of the season? The sad first game ever was no-hit and slow pitch.
I don't know why
you owe me tonight. You better get 4 hits. I need 4 hits. That's all I need.
I don't know why we haven't learned the lesson. I think of Bill Callahan taking it to Western Illinois in his first game and thinking perfect hire. Things are great, right? Scott Frost having a positive game against Colorado, even though there was a loss. Adrian Martinez doesn't get hurt. He gets a win. Nebraska's headed probably to a conference title in year 2.
Where are you going with this? Are you comparing yourself to Bill Callahan and Scott Frost?
I am. No, but the point is obvious, John. I'm surprised you haven't got it. You don't judge a coach by his first game. That's the point.
I've never heard of a team getting no hit and slow pitch softball before. I mean, this is
many people have mentioned that it's happened. And again,
many people have mentioned they're all people who watch.
No, many people have said they've been in a similar situation. And now I don't know that this is even a slow pitch. I don't know that this is even a no hitter. This was a game. This was not an official 7-inning game. This was a 3-inning game. It did not.
That makes it even worse because you didn't give yourself enough time to get a hit because you gave up 30.
It was ended prematurely. So,
Yes, because of your incompetence.
They had a mercy rule game, I think, Nebraska against Maryland on Sunday. Had Nebraska not given up a hit in that game through 7 innings, that would not have been, it would not have been referred to as a true no-hitter. We all would have put an asterisk by it.
Travis writes, much like his softball team, Jack with a big swing and a miss with that analogy.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, Andrew said, is Jack the Scott Frost of softball managers? Jack, I don't think he meant that in the good way. I think he meant in the bad way.
I was just trying to make something we could relate to where we overreacted to a first game by a coach. There are millions of them across sports. You guys can pick your favorite. I thought people would want to hear about Nebraska coaches. So you swing and a miss. Oh God, your commenters are so annoying. Jeez.
So annoying.
So annoying.
Yeah.
It's so right.
Yeah. Hard to argue.
What was confusing about that? Swing and a
Tina
miss.
says doesn't sound like his team is puking enough.
Ooh.
Do you need more puke?
Maybe.
Were they wearing hoodies?
Listen, couple of mitigating factors that we need to be aware of here. Okay, number one, probably 3/4. There are probably 4 people on this team that I have ever seen play softball before. The rest of them, I'm going blind into what I'm getting with these guys.
Already throwing your team under the bus.
Hold on.
Scott
As the
Frost-like.
general manager and namesake of this team, that's kind of falls upon the guy who's doing the scouting.
I mean, everybody's got a time when they haven't yet seen the guy. There's not film available, John. There's no huddle available.
It's 2024. How is there not film
available? They don't have a huddle page. I can't look up softballreference.com and pull up their stats. Okay.
I want to see what Bigelow's doing. I need to see his scouting report.
I mean, he's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, but nonetheless, everyone's 0 for 1. Well, they're all 0 for 1 or 0 for 0.
Strikeout.
But so is my own. Hold on. Not to throw him. I don't mean to just throw him under the bus. My own son is 0 for 1 with a strikeout, too. So there you go. Equal opportunity. I didn't know my team. I didn't know where their strengths were, where their weaknesses were. I got to learn, right? This is kind of like the preseason for me in some ways.
Man,
so that's number one. That's mitigating factor number one. Mitigating factor number two is there's a chance we played the best softball team in all of Lincoln last night.
Interesting.
On Monday night, not last night. Last Monday.
I hope these
there's
guys get one ruled by 30.
What exactly is going on inside the walls of Lincoln Industries? Are
you implying steroid use?
I think they're building Terminators. No, I don't. Not steroid. No, robots is what I'm implying.
Interesting.
Well, they'd be androids, I think.
Okay,
They're
whatever.
robots.
Whatever. I don't know. I mean,
Swing and a miss.
I don't know that there was human blood pumping through their body. I'm not for sure aware of that. So, there's just a lot out there that people don't, I know they want to jump into the narratives, and they got most of the hosts on your radio station that's feeding the misinformation train, right? It's an echo chamber for everyone out there to hear what they want to hear, right? You got your
the echo chamber.
Hey, I'm the one that took the over. So don't count me
John's
in this.
on your side.
I took the over, man.
Why did you do that exactly, John? Do you believe
great
in me?
question.
That is a great question. Maybe because I thought, there's a chance that one of you bums could actually get a couple of hits, and maybe another one of you bums could get a couple more hits.
That's what you're
I just need
for.
4. I just need 4 hits in slow pitch softball.
Doesn't seem like you're asking for that much.
I'm not asking for anything. It feels like I'm asking for too little.
Jack, how can we follow along live? Like, can I watch this tonight? Can I sit there on my couch eating popcorn, watching the softball on my computer?
Not the video of it, no, unless somebody wants to record it and do it live. But no,
Jack,
you can
put
watch
it on your StreamYard, on your YouTube StreamYard account.
Well, okay. First of all, you can follow the live stats. Okay, there's a link that is posted with the.
I'd
with
find
the
myself
lineup
continuing hitting the refresh button. Go, how come there still is 0 in the hit column? Why is this? This obviously isn't turned on.
As of now, we don't have anybody who's volunteered to do full video or audio for the game.
Sad.
Audio.
I don't know. Maybe
Audio.
that'll happen down the road.
Audio.
John Sterling needs a job. Maybe he'll come and call your
there
games.
you
That'd
go.
be
Let
good.
me
That'd
do
be a good
play-by-play,
get.
Jack.
Nick has been wanting to do baseball play-by-play for the last couple of years. Maybe this is finally his moment to shine.
Go for it, Nick. Go get. All you got to
hell
do is come down there, start a Twitter Spaces, and bring a headset
This
mic.
would be
and,
amazing.
a Twitter
content.
Nick, you
Spaces.
get a chance to work on your strikeout call. That's for sure.
Steve Reich.
if that's all anybody would have to do to call a game, I think. Open up Twitter Spaces or
If you get
Twitter Space and do
signatures
it.
of the teams involved, like, do they have to allow themselves to be disseminated for private use of this audience? Like,
Oh, like the Major League Baseball
yeah.
disclaimer?
There'd be a lot of people wanting to watch this.
No, there's
Like,
not.
don't do it
No,
on Twitter Spaces. Do it on YouTube
Yeah,
like
no,
a normal
I wouldn't do it
person.
on Twitter Spaces.
Yeah, why
I don't
did
know
Jack think
said that.
Twitter Spaces?
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, what year is it, Jack?
Oh, okay.
Didn't realize Jack was
Calm
Elon
down. You can
That's
bring
all
that
right.
down. Wait.
Home of
Josh can bring that take down about 1 billion notches because you guys all do your show live on Twitter as well.
Not
And
on
so
Twitter Spaces.
it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It broadcasts it live. I thought he was just going to do audio, not video. So you want to do you just want to do just audio on YouTube and broadcast
No.
it?
What are you
Well,
talking
that's a
about?
terrible idea, Josh.
The video, Jack. The video on
He has to
StreamYard.
do. We were doing radio. Get in the conversation. Oh my!
You're
OMG.
the one who. You're the
You're
one who.
getting no hit by me right now, Josh.
Nick, are you
oh my
talking about
gosh.
audio or video to Jack?
Video.
There you go, Jack. Thank you, Nick.
He sounded like he meant audio. I didn't know he wanted to do video.
wow.
Speaking
Then
of
just
audio,
do it. Whatever. Then go on
MySpace,
YouTube
the
Live.
official home of Jack Mitchell softball.
Whatever.
Stibbs
Go on
points out, Nick,
YouTube Live, but broadcast it on Twitter.
you could record yourself saying, and that's another strikeout, and play that on repeat.
That's fair. Jack, your lineups look very nice, except I do have
they?
a question.
Tight money line splits.
Why did
I
you
feel
include
attacked
the
in this
artist and
interview.
band instead of the name of the song for the walk-up songs?
What was that, Nick?
Because I didn't have room on the
For the
graphic.
walk-up For the walk-up music, he didn't include the name of the song they were walking up to, just the artist or band that sings the walk-up song.
That's a solid critique, I think.
Like Biz Markie, of course we know what the Biz Markie song is going to be, but
I don't know what it is.
Glass
answer
Animals
is
name a few
Have a
songs.
song about I dribbled out to the catcher.
Can I answer the question? Because there wasn't enough space on the graphic. That's the answer.
Well,
That's
just do
the
name
answer.
of the song.
What?
Do the name of the song. Just do the name of the song.
I
the
thought
artist.
people would be more interested. The name of the song, they might not know what the song is. Then there's a better chance that they're going to know the artist. So,
John, do you know Glass Animals?
No,
Do you know Biz Markie?
I've heard of Bismarck.
oh god,
Okay.
this is the worst exercise with John ever. What? Oh god.
Well, you said people would know.
Nate says that we should do a 15-minute segment on Tuesdays with Jack to talk about the game from the previous
We
night.
should.
So is
I
Jack
get
gonna be
it.
a
Hold on.
regular guest 2 days in a row now?
Do you know who I have a new respect for right now? Bo Pelini. Bo Pelini. For the first time, I've been a critic all my life. And
well,
you know,
then Sean Eichholz needs to come and fire your ass.
I owe Bo an apology because I understand everything now. I am tired of getting attacked. Let's get somebody in here who's going to ask a good question.
Well, here's one thing you and Bo won't have in common. You ain't getting close to 9 wins. And in about 5 weeks, you'll blow right past the 4 losses. All right.
We'll see. Listen, again, all of those things I said very well may have been, and I think they were true. That mitigated that first loss of the year. Oh, the other thing is we had a few people who were playing their first slow pitch softball game ever. I think that also factored in. So, we're going to get better.
This is some real bad GM work. I mean, are you bucking for a job with the Chicago Bears? I mean, how is this happening?
It was a volunteer basis to start. We'll see. I took the players who wanted to play, and I'm going to mold them. And it's not just on the field.
People in acts of desperation took to all volunteerism.
It's not just on the field. It's off the fields. I want these guys, to learn how to be men, be pillars of their community. That's what it's about for me. You guys can talk about wins and losses. But to me, and you don't know what's happening inside that clubhouse. Yeah, you don't know what's happening inside that clubhouse.
Hey, getting out of the car.
If you could have seen their faces in that dugout after the 30-0 loss, you wouldn't have been talking about this like you are now. There was some real pain. Those guys have been hurting this week. And you know what? You're not helping any of it. You're not helping any of it with this constant hack journalism. I said it. Your whole station.
I took the over.
It's 6A to 6B attacks on my guys, and it's not helping them. What's this gonna? You're talking about recruiting. What do you think this is? How am I going to recruit players for next year with the way that you guys attack them?
Hey, listen, Dion, the way you recruited players for this year's team, I'm not feeling too confident.
By the way, a couple of comments from Charles making the Popolini comparisons. First of all, how long until Jack says F to the fans? And then he adds,
I get it now.
Do you remember that famous picture of Bo where he was standing there and looked like he peed all over himself?
Oh, no.
Oh, there's a picture, all right. Let's Photoshop Jack's face on it. Do you remember this picture?
No, I don't.
I
do remember the game where Bo got carted out at halftime.
Oh,
I hope that doesn't happen tonight.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That wasn't good.
All right,
Jack, next season, just turn this into a banana softball kind of thing. So that way, when you lose this bad, it's funny. It's just banana
You mean it's not funny now?
No, but it might make him feel less bad.
I don't know what's a banana softball.
You don't know
game.
what banana ball is?
No.
Oh, Jack, banana ball is great.
I don't
baseball
know.
with trick shots.
There it is.
If anybody wants to screenshot it, there it is. My official.
I'm sorry, Bo.
There it is. I get it now. There you go. I am sorry. All those critiques I had.
I'll take a screenshot of that. That's funny.
All right. Well, speaking of football, happier things. Happy talk this week. A lot of happy talk this week.
Oh, yeah.
The offense making the major push. Best scrimmage I've ever seen from an offense. Are you allowing yourself to get excited now?
Yeah. I mean, I saw that last pass on that little highlight reel from Dylan Raiola to who was the long pass to Lloyd, I think it was.
Lloyd.
To Lloyd, and I mean, I wet myself like Bo Pelini. Yes, I did. Yeah, on the run, that highlight. Yeah, that's what I think that'll do. Yeah, that was pretty good. I think I'll take that on the run, throwing it 50 yards downfield, hitting him in stride. Yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, I'm hyped up about that one highlight I saw on a video. And then, plus, did you hear what Rule said? He said Harburg is exponentially, this is my word, not his, exponentially better this year as a thrower than last year. How many Heisman quarterbacks do we have on this roster at this point? It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'll take a wait and see on that one.
He said it. He said it. He's a coach.
I'm not going to buy that one either, John.
The good news is we won't have to worry about seeing it unless it's in a spring game because he won't be starting anyway.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Are you off the Danny Kalen might start bandwagon, Josh? You know what I mean?
No, I was never on that. He was on it. I just,
you ask questions.
We all know who's going to start.
I thought we did. Then I listened to your show.
I never intimated it.
You did ask the question.
You legit asked.
I asked the question because everyone else was talking about it. I'm like, where is this coming from?
Listen, media doesn't like what typical media doesn't like the tables turned on them. Not surprised.
Listen, at this point, it sounds like everything's just going to be fine. The tide has turned on the optimism around here. The tide has definitely turned.
To optimistic, right?
Oh, very optimistic.
Yeah.
For sure.
The positive boys are out in full force right now.
I mean, is it possible? Is it possible to win the offseason national championship twice in the same offseason?
Oh, interesting question.
Well,
I never thought of that before.
How many are there? 2 championships within the offseason, like an early one and a late one?
It's like an early signing period and a late signing period.
I mean, Nebraska's been winning offseason national championships for 20 years now.
Yeah, they never.
But this time,
this year really feels like they've won it.
Yeah.
I don't know. All the talking heads who have sometimes been negative sound a little negative too. Speaking of the media, I think that's probably the biggest difference right now is you don't have the Josh Petersons of the world talking about what a bad team is coming in here. In fact, I hear some positivity coming from even the darkest of souls like Josh.
Yeah, John and I famously have been a bit more negative on the program over the last few years. Correctly so, I might add.
Yes.
So what's it say when the negative boys, who are more the correct boys,
are
now a bit positive? Should that be a sign of ultimate improvement? Some are asking. Some are saying.
That's notable to me. It's notable to me.
But in all seriousness,
yeah.
It is rather interesting to hear how much, more positivity there is out there. And I get it. It's spring football. Let's see it against actual competition. But just having better quarterback play, man, does it make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Or at least the perception of good quarterback play. Let's be fair. But it makes such a tremendous difference in just the general tenor of the conversation. And I think when you look ahead to this season, it's okay. It's okay to feel optimistic.
Yeah.
For once. Real optimism. Not this fake, we're always optimistic because, we're Husker fans. No, real, genuine optimism. That things are turning around and moving for the better.
And you've got, and listen, there's some level of justification for it. Obviously, yes, you bring in Dylan. You've got Matt Rule in year 2. You got Matt Rule continuing to say all the right things all off season long and looking like he's got this thing, under control right now. We'll see if he does during the games. But then you add on to that is that you have got a lot of guys who played, I think, unexpectedly well last year, who are like a lot of guys, especially on the defensive end of the ball, who are coming back with experience, and they were kind of green last year. And so I think you kind of think about it. If there are even, nominal levels of improvement from some of these guys just by virtue of experience, there's just a lot of bodies that have played well and have experience right now on that roster. And that hasn't been the case for a long time. So I don't think it's all Matt Rule, Dylan Raiola hype. I think that might be sort of the more sneaky part of it as well. When you look at the defensive roster, when you look at the offensive line roster, especially.
What do you think, Jack, about the Dylan? I don't know. I mean, I don't want to keep just saying hype because that's such a boring word, but like there was a noticeable shift in the conversation with him over the last 48 hours. Do you think that there was like a bubbling up, or that given that it was a scrimmage and that people were there and were spreading the gospel, that played the biggest part?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was easier to evaluate because it was a more game-like situation for people who were there, including coaches and including people who were maybe, talking after the fact. And I think it sounds like he had a really good day. It sounds like he had a really, really good day in that kind of a scenario. I haven't been to a practice this year, so I can't tell you what it's like, even the people who get the access to watch the entire thing. But I don't know how game-like it is outside of those couple of practices where you've got the scrimmage. So I'm not sure how much of an opportunity you would have to walk away, to know if a really good pass was truly, a 60-yard touchdown, or if it was just one where they were kind of thought it wasn't totally a full game situation. So I think that's part of it. And then the other part of it, Josh, is obviously, I think under Matt Rule's guidance, they have done everything that they can not to overhype Dylan Raiola so far.
100%.
And I'm sure that's by design. I think every piece of communication that comes out of that place, either out of his mouth or on YouTube or on social media, is all by design. I think there's intent to it. I think that, is one of the things Matt Rule does well. And it's been my impression that they've in every single one of those ways that they've tried to not make this spring about him. And for the most part, they've succeeded to the point that people are asking if Danny Kaelin might be the starting quarterback during radio interviews. So, I think that would be the other reason why it's happened. But at some point, Josh, I think if you have like at that play that was on that video or something like that, where he throws a 50-yard pass to Jalen Lloyd or Banks or somebody right in stride that goes for a touchdown, that is going to turn up the heat on the Dylan hype all summer long. You just wait. All it's going to take is one super sexy play during that spring game, and then all of a sudden, boop, flip is really going to go on in a way that it hasn't yet for Nebraska fans.
Now, I do follow the Lincoln Scanner account, which is similar to the Omaha Scanner account. You find out about, what the police and fire
what's going on in Crime Town.
But I may have tuned out during the weekend, but I don't recall seeing any alcohol-related arrests at Haymarket Park.
Interesting. Look at adults being adults.
Are we going to look back on these days, these pre-alcohol days, and wonder, why was it ever any different?
Maybe. I mean, is it kind of what it feels like with basketball now? I think to some degree, and maybe people who work security or work in law enforcement would disagree with me, but just from the fan experience of being there, it doesn't really feel any different for the most part. I don't think so. Yeah. Well, I mean, John, you remember in Lincoln, I can't remember if this is when you were doing the show with me or after. I think it was after, but do you remember when they had the whole thing in the city council about adding alcohol to movie theaters? Right.
Yes.
and there was all this concern about, all the problems that could bring about. And I was like, you would have to want to get drunk in the most inconvenient, expensive way possible in life.
You have to go to the bathroom during a movie.
All of this. First of all, you're buying a beer for $12. Number 2, you got to walk out and keep missing the movie. Number 3, you got to pee. Number 4, you only got, 2 hours to do it. I mean, the whole time I was saying that, I was like, man, you would really have to try to be it or get there drunk already, I suppose. But yeah.
The only environment where if that comes up, I will hear them out would be for football.
Yes.
Which eventually it's going to happen anyway. So we're all going to have to get used to it. But I understand that because there is already a culture of drinking surrounding the game regardless because of tailgating.
Sure.
And so then you add in a couple more pops during the game, and I understand why that
for sure
goes sideways. But baseball and basketball and softball and volleyball, they don't have that culture that goes with it.
Now, the amount of drinks consumed per person in that stadium at a football game, what do you think it is prior walking in the door?
Well, if you're in South Stadium, it's like 0.3 because you'll only be able to average like 1 every 3 games.
It's really hard,
or else because you'll miss the other 2.
But what I'm saying is if you did the math
before the game,
how many drinks have people had on average per person walking into the game at football compared to basketball or baseball? I'm going to guess it's much higher. Even with 70,000+, it's still much higher.
Yeah, and if that's averaging out everybody, if you just go with the people who are drinking, I would bet at least that of those however many thousand people, we're talking at least 2 drinks, if not more, already, just in terms of a floor. So yeah,
for sure.
That's the one sport that I will hear you. I will hear you doing that, but otherwise, no.
I agree.
John just saw one of the memes, I'm guessing. Did you see the January 6th one?
Thanks to Cena Gel on Twitter for
Keena.
Oh,
Keena.
it's Keena. I didn't know. I'm sorry, Keena. She took your screenshot and blanked out the piece of paper.
So we're making memes.
So
Jack.
now people are making memes.
I should have known. That was a
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
Trev Albert should have taught me that was a bad choice.
Yeah, the Jorster has photoshopped. What's that guy's name from January 6th?
The shaman.
The shaman. Yeah, the shaman. You're holding a picture of the shaman.
I should have known.
Uh-huh.
Rookie coaching mistake.
This is great.
What? Another one?
Wow,
Shocking.
shocker. Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Shocking.
Shocking.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 9:15 game tonight.
So
Here,
late.
here come the excuses again.
They're
No, this is an
sleepy.
excuse. I'm going to talk about the rant. If there's a win, I don't know. All bets are off. What happens afterwards? All bets are off. You know, I might
Oh,
be.
why?
I might
Are
have.
you expecting the other team to forfeit? Just give me the 4 hits. That's all I ask for. Just give me the 4 hits. Josh wanted to set the line at 0.5.
No, I
yes,
said
you
1.5.
No, you said
That was
are they
runs.
going to get a hit?
That was are they going to score runs?
No, that was hits.
I didn't say a half. I thought that they would get at least a hit. So I said we have to up
listen.
it a bit more.
But you took
It
the
was
under.
a
Of course.
fluke. There are
Interesting.
multiple players on this team who have played on winning softball teams in the past. Like over, I would say 2/3 probably of these players. have done
Kindergarten
that.
class PE does not count.
No, that have played in city rec softball leagues or have played baseball at the high school level. There are a couple of those too. So, which actually turned out to be a disadvantage. We learned when he hadn't faced a pitch under 80 miles an hour. So could have swung twice at that first pitch. Yikes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a late one. I saw our boss during the last commercial break, and I said, "You're gonna be up late tonight," and he just said, "Yep."
Well, not necessarily. I mean,
not-
how long did it take to play 3 innings?
It took about 45 minutes.
There you
Alright,
go.
there
So
you
we'll
go.
take that one.
Well, their innings took a long time. I do still have the
Yeah, they
scorebook
scored
page.
30 runs.
Yes.
I'm thinking about auctioning off the scorebook page for the other team for charity.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
when
yeah,
Kent
that's a great idea.
Pavelka has his. You could have that scorebook page is available if anybody wants to make a donation. You know,
What is
we'll see.
Why did you set the lineup to be how it is? How come our boss, for example, is hitting second to last in the lineup when he?
Okay, this is where it's hard.
You're
Mark-
asking 400 level questions to a minus 100 level manager.
You know, Mark had an opportunity with the bases loaded and nobody out. Really a turning point in that game, I think. And, you know, he gaps a double at that point, and who knows what we're talking about, a 1-0 team at this point. You know, he hit a grounder that was it was a 3 unassisted put out at home, or excuse me, a 2 unassisted put out at home at that point, which you don't see very often in softball. And so I'm just dropping him down so we can kind of watch the guys in front of him and maybe get a little feel, get a little rhythm going there with things. Also, he's starting at third base tonight, I believe. So we're gonna look for some defensive, maybe get a play on defense, give him some time to do that, and then get the bat going a little bit later. So just trying something new. You got to try something new. You guys,
third baseman, a famously not offensive position. George,
you
Brett,
guys,
you
guys in the media would be giving me a hard time if I trotted out the exact same lineup I think as last week, right? So
Yeah.
I'm
giving you a hard time because you're trotting out the exact same players as you did.
My team
you
is
gotta
my
cut them
team.
all.
Put me in,
My-
Jack.
My team is as Gene Hackman said in Hoosiers, my team is on the floor. Okay, there's going to be no additions. I've had plenty of people volunteering or explaining to me how to get ringers. I'm not an idiot. I know I'm not adding any other players. This is my team. This is it for this season. There will be no additions to this team. Okay, I am loyal to these guys.
If you don't get to the 4 hits tonight, thus costing me the point in predictions, I think you should ask that Nick be on next week's team.
Oh, can I do the 6th instead? So otherwise, I'll have to leave work early. But
Did you hear a thing I just said? There's no additions to. Geez, there are no additions. I have communicated with Nick. He is going to be considered for future iterations of this team. But and there may be a fall team.
A future iteration.
Mm.
I'm just saying, if you don't get me my point, if you don't justify my faith in you, I think you should put Nick on the team just to see if he could help.
Maybe
My
put me on the
team is on the
where
floor.
others. Like, wow, that guy got replaced with Nick. I better shape up, otherwise Nick will replace me. And I don't
Exactly.
want that.
Motivation. Big
Yeah, Andrew
motivation.
says so. Jack is out on the transfer portal. Sound like his team could use the help. Yeah, he's the
There's-
Dabo Sweeney of softball managers.
Once the
Without the
transfer
title.
portal opens, after my transfer portal does not open during the season. Once the season ends, then we'll have those discussions. But right now, I just want to focus on the guys who put their heart and soul on the line every Monday night for this team.
By the way, before we let Jack go, another sign shows up that says, "The jury got it right. R.I.P. OJ." Jack, what a wild opinion on your part, but wow. Thank you for the new meme.
Thank you. Thank you, Tina. Stibbs weighing in again from the grave. No wonder they suck. Jack thinks they're playing basketball.
Because of the Hoosiers reference? My team is on the field. You get it. You know what I'm talking about, Stibbs. Shut up. Go look at those stupid Broncos jerseys some more.
Oh, okay. That's a good dig.
That is a good dig.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's not having a good day either. All right, well, good luck. Just give me my 4 hits. That's all I ask.
If I get you your 4 hits, when are you coming down for a game? You need to come and if we get you your 4 hits, if that's all you want, I need you to be a
What
supporter.
if we did the
here
show
at some
from one of
point.
these things, one of the 6 o'clock games?
Yeah.
The show
the
is
field.
done at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I know, but we just did the show from there, and then we could root
Leading
against-
up an extended 4-hour pregame.
I mean, do you want to be assaulted? We'd have to do the show outdoors in Crime
Oh,
Town.
that's a tough look. Yeah, never mind.
Where are these games at? You said Mahoney?
They're at Mahoney. Not the state park for people who don't know. It's a city park in Lincoln.
No, City Park.
City Park in Lincoln. That's where most of the softball games in town are played.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
It's on your
Yeah.
way. It's your on. Oh yeah, you take 84th in, John?
sometimes.
Right. You'll drive right by it then.
There you go, John. You'll drive right
by
by.
it when you come in.
If I'm driving by at 9:15 tonight,
Well,
I'm really late.
John,
we'll have a
go to the
7:15 game.
go to his game tonight. You'll be out by 9:30. Sorry, Jack.
Oh, all right.
Not that bad. My guys, if any of you are listening, JMS 50U JMSE Elite Platinum, fuel yourselves with this. Fuel it. Eject it in your veins tonight. Let it
Eject it. Not
inject it. Let it
eject.
pulse through you if you're Mark Onweiler, did you hear that? Bust through that door right now and punch one of these guys. Come on. Let's go.
That's assault, brother.
That's assault, brother.
He's your boss. That's legal. I'm a lawyer.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Hard to argue.
That's true.
Fair
Uh-huh.
It's well settled law. Duh.
Yeah. All right. Bye, Jack.
See ya.
Bye, Jack.